Well, hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today I thought it would be fun to go through my plants, and I went through 5 different varieties, and I thought I would pick out my favorite and my least favorite one in each variety. So we're gonna do pothos, philodendron, maranta, cactus, and hoya. 5 of them. There were a bunch of other ones, like I have peace lily, I got snake plant, I got alocasias and different things like that that I could do. So there could be a part 2 to this. I just wanted to pick 5 today. So let's start with my least favorite. I'll show what the least favorite is and the favorite back to back. So my least favorite, maranta. This one, I knew immediately which one it was going to be, and it doesn't mean I dislike this plant. I just dislike this one here, and it's the red vein maranta, and I actually really like this one. I mean, it's really cool, and oddly enough, although this plant looks like it's toxic or looks like it'd be made of poison, it's not toxic to plants. It's not toxic to pets. Isn't that interesting? I always find that weird because a lot of the plants that look like this happen to be non-toxic. Anyway, it's really, really cool. It has, like, it's called red vein because it has all these red veins on it with this really cool green, like, stripe in the middle, and then the dark leaf on the outside. It's a really, really cool plant, and I already have one of these. But the reason this is my least favorite, and this also could be in the category of plants I regret buying, is because not only do I already have one, but I didn't need this big giant one, and when I brought it home, I was like, why did I buy that? Where am I even gonna put it? It's way too big. Where it is now, it looks fine. I don't mind it there. It's not like in the way or anything, but I just didn't need it. And to be honest, when I was walking out of the store, I found this at Smith's, and it was one of those really cheap ones. It was $12.99. When I was walking out of the store, I was walking to my car holding it, and I was like, why? Why did I buy this? And I bought it because it was the biggest maranta I had ever seen, and I had to have it. I felt crazy. But I like the plant, but I don't like this one. It does need some water too. I might as well water it after this video. But yeah, it's definitely my least favorite one that I own, but it's not this plant, it's just this plant, you know? And my favorite one I thought was going to be the lemon lime. I know that one's a favorite for a lot of people. And also my little variegated one too. This is another one of my favorites. But the one that came out on top is the regular maranta leuconeura. Let me grab it. This one. So I have 3 marantas sitting up on a corner shelf. I have this one, another red vein maranta, and the lemon lime. The other 2 kind of hang down, this one's right in the middle. So I don't see it all that often, like the top of it. I just really see it from the side. So all I really see are like kind of the crispy tips. Like I tried to cut some off, but they come right back. But the other day I took it down to water it, and I realized it had filled out in the whole plant, which is weird because most of the time marantas, at least the ones I have, they tend to grow like a hanging plant, and then the top stays all bald. Like it doesn't just sprout new things from the soil, at least not all the time in my opinion and in my experience. But this one has just been growing like crazy. And look how big these leaves are. Like they're big, they're soft, they're floppy. They have this really cool like dark pattern here. One of the marantas I really want is the black one. It's like black, it looks like a black vein maranta or like dark gray. It's so cool. But look how cool this one is. I don't know why I just never really appreciated this one that much. It kind of just sat there. But lately I've really been loving it, and it's just these big floppy leaves. I think it's so, so cool. It does get some crispy tips now and then because I do let it go too long without watering it. Marantas tend to be a plant that you don't want to let get dry all the way. I kind of treat them the same as an alocasia, like just kind of stay up on the watering, and it shouldn't get crispy tips for you, but it does, and it's totally fine. It's still really pretty, and I've just been loving this one a lot lately. I think it's very underrated in my house. Philodendron. There were two that were my least favorite. Immediately I knew the bipennifolia was my least favorite, and because it's such a juvenile plant, and every single juvenile philodendron looks exactly the same. They all look the same. They're indistinguishable in my opinion, and there's no real reason to buy all of them. If you want like a skeleton key philodendron, buy the mature one that already looks cool like you want it, because the juvenile one's going to take forever, and I don't like having them all because they look exactly the same. And the bipenniform, just, I don't like the shape of it. It's too small. I don't really care for it. Whatever. But there's another one that came out on top, and I feel like a few of you guys are going to say, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Because I feel like this is a desirable plant for a lot of people. But it's this, the philodendron paraiso verde. So I bought this online, and this is one of those plants that, if you've been watching the videos all month and you watched my intro video, I was talking about how I had ordered some plants online, and right when I unboxed them, I was like, okay, when can I get the next plant? Like, I wasn't that excited about them. This is the plant that was in that order. And I ordered it only to get free shipping because the shipping was like $20-something. I was like, I'd rather just get a plant. But there was nothing I really wanted on the website, so I got this. And although it's very cool looking, it has these big leaves. It's got a lot of nice splashy variegation. Like, look how cool that leaf is. Here's another really cool looking one. I genuinely didn't want it. I got it just to get free shipping, and now I'm like, I really should have just paid for shipping. I did repot it, and I did a video repotting the plants that I don't like in hopes it would make me love them. And this was one of the plants in that video. As you can tell, this plant loves the light, and it is bending its whole little plant body to reach the window that it's next to. So I gotta find a better space for this, maybe in here on the table, so it'll kind of grow up towards the window. But yeah, this is my least favorite just because I really didn't want it. I don't know. I have no feelings towards it whatsoever. But I have it now, and I'm going to do my best to love it. But it's, don't tell him, but he's my least favorite. And my favorite philodendron, I did go back and forth on this one too, because I have a bunch that I was like, no, this one, no, this one. Like, I right away was like, the Ring of Fire is like killing it right now, so I thought that one. But if there can only be one, my favorite is actually this one right here that's always in my background. It's my bobcee. This is a plant that nobody ever talks about. Every now and then, one of you guys will mention you have one, or is that a bobcee in the background? Someone just mentioned it recently in a comment. This is a plant I bought, of course, like everything else, on a whim. I bought it online. It showed up great. I actually did an unboxing, but on my other channel when I first got it, before I had this channel. I'll link that down below in case you want to watch it and see how it had arrived. But I did buy this from Cactus Club way back then. And I just love it. It has a lot of like, oddly sentimental value. I love this leaf shape. I mean, come on, look at that leaf. I did just clean these though too, so it's looking like brand new. Looks beautiful. But I did recently cut it because I wanted to, I don't know. I do have a stick in here for stability, but I didn't want it to grow like tall forever and have to have a big old like thing in it. So I did cut the top of it off, and I'm propagating some of the leaves. I did cut off 4 leaves. 2 of them didn't make it because I tried a different type of method and they just rotted, but these 2 are like doing great in the water. Yuck, I gotta empty that out and switch it. But when I cut the top off, this is what grew out of the top. So this was the first leaf that grew. Like, it did grow this new stem. This leaf right here, this little thing is what the first leaf that grew. And then this leaf, and like I was just saying, all juvenile philodendrons look exactly the same. I mean, you would never be able to tell what plant this is. So unless it was growing on the bobcee, you wouldn't know. This could be any type of philodendron, you know? So yeah, it's a juvenile form now. And then that leaf grew. This one was very stuck inside of the stem, but it grew before this one did. It was really strange. I genuinely didn't even know it was a leaf. It just looked like something stuck there. But this is what it looked like. And then it's growing another one right here that's in the stem right now. But I guess I didn't think that it was going to grow back juvenile like that. So I think these leaves I have here are the ones I'm going to have. And the ones that are up here are going to be the juvenile form. I mean, it's fine. It was kind of funny to see how it's growing like that. But I still do have my other like mature leaves over here. So I think it's kind of interesting to see what was going to happen after I cut it. But this is my favorite. Again, definitely one of my top 5 overall plants, not even just philodendron. I just absolutely love it. It's super easy. It grows these long crazy stems, and they will turn and face the light. So I have this on this shelf with the window in front of it, and just with a lot of trial and error, I have found that that's what works best for the plant. I could probably stabilize it a little more so it's not leaning forward, but that's a task for another day. This plant is so easy. It looks like it would be difficult, but seriously, just make sure it's getting a lot of bright light and water it when it's dry. And that's it. It's easy peasy plant. I rarely see it for sale anywhere, and I don't see anyone talk about it. When I first bought it, I looked up care on YouTube, and I only found one video that was in English. A lot of them were out of the country, and I didn't understand what was going on. But when I was saying they'll turn to face the light, look at this leaf right here. So love this plant a lot. I kind of want to do a care video on it because there's none out there, and I think it'd be kind of helpful for some people because this plant is kind of, I don't want to say hard to find. It's just like, it's not out there. Like no one's really selling it, I guess. At least the people that I shop from online anyway. Okay, Hoya. So my least favorite Hoya. What even is it? Did I bring it in here? Did I pick a least favorite Hoya? It's this one, the polyneura. So I do have this in a Dollar Tree pot, and I really should take this out and switch it because the plants that I've put in here, if it's not a cactus or a succulent, they don't do well, and that might be why this one isn't doing that well. But I don't know what it is about this one. I just don't love it, and I have come to the realization that I don't love Hoyas as much as everyone seems to think you're supposed to. There are some that I really love, and I'm going to feature one today that is my #1 favorite. It's one of my favorite plants, period, like not just my favorite Hoyas. But I don't know, I don't know. This one's okay. I've had it since last year. I feel like I've had it a little longer than that. It used to be 2 separate plants, and it was growing for a little while, and then suddenly that part died. But this is what's left of it. It's not much smaller than it was when I had it originally, but I mean, I don't know. They also call this the fishtail Hoya because it has this really cool like point right here. It really does look like some fish fins or something. It has some really beautiful veining. I'm sure you could kind of see through the plant there. Freaking gnat flew out of that one. But I don't know, it just doesn't do much for me. It's kind of small, and I'm not a huge fan of small plants. Although I do have a lot of very small plants. Sometimes small ones like this kind of get lost in my collection and kind of in my shelves here, but I don't know what it is about this one. It just doesn't spark joy. It doesn't spark joy for me, and like honestly, if this one died, I wouldn't even notice it was gone. But yeah, that's my least favorite for sure, and I'm dropping soil all over the table. My favorite one is right over there on the table. I'm not going to take it down because it has these long like vine things that are twisting all over my snake plant, but it's the Hoya pubicalix Splash. This is a plant that I'm so proud of. I love it so much because I bought this at, where did I buy it? Did I buy this at Osuna Nursery? I really don't remember. But at the time, I don't think I had ever bought any Hoyas before, but I bought that and I bought the Crinkle 8. Yes, I did buy this because I remember. I bought it at Osuna. The Crinkle 8 is just one vine right now. It used to be a hanging basket, and this one also used to be a hanging basket, but I repotted and repotted and repotted these plants because I didn't know how to take care of them. I didn't know they didn't want to be repotted so many times. I put them in pots that were way too big with too much soil. They were getting root rot. It was a whole thing. Then whatever was left of the plant, I put it in that pot, and I said, okay, fine. It's going to stay right here, and it's either going to live or die. And it just stayed. It never grew whatsoever. And then out of nowhere, 2 little pairs of leaves are popping up left and right. And now there's like a couple of vines hanging over the pot. It's twisted all over the snake plant. I just love this plant a lot. I love the leaf shape. It's just like elongated. It has all this beautiful variegation on it. Some of the leaves are different than others. Like every leaf is unique. I enjoy this plant so much. I did buy another one recently, which I really shouldn't have bought, but I couldn't resist it. It was so big and beautiful. I still love it, but I probably shouldn't have bought it. But I love this plant a lot. It's definitely my #1, not only favorite Hoya, but easily top 5 favorite plants that I have in my house. I love it so much. Such easy care plant. It's the best. The next one is pothos. And now that I said pothos, is it pronounced pothos or pothos? Because I hear people say them both ways, but I've always said pothos. If you've been watching my videos, you probably know what my least favorite pothos is. It's this one, the Enjoy. I did feature this in another video this month, and in that video, it really needed water, and guess what? I still haven't watered it. It's still just sitting there. I know from there, it actually looks kind of cool, limp, but it looks fine. No, that looks ugly. That looks so ugly and scraggly. I don't like this plant at all. It seems at first like it's going to be really easy to take care of, and I bought this as a big old hanging basket. It was so beautiful, but it slowly just kept dwindling down and dying and dying and dying, and I don't really know what it wants, because I feel like I stay on top of the watering. Obviously not now because I don't care about it anymore, but I was staying on top of the watering, I was giving it the light it wanted, and then it was like, nah, not good enough. I really genuinely truly don't know what this plant wants. It has a really cool growth habit and the leaves are really pretty to look at, but this plant does not like me. It doesn't like being in my house. This is one of those plants I will enjoy from afar. I like that it exists, and when I see it out in the wild, I'll appreciate it for what it is, but I'm not going to buy another one of these. 100% regret. I mean, no, do I regret it? Because I've learned something, but it's definitely my least favorite pothos, like by far. And my favorite, I did go back and forth on this one a couple of times because you know how I feel about the global green. I just adore that plant so much. But I wanted to feature another one that is also my favorite. It's my favorite. I get up all the time and I just go like this to it and I fluff it. It's so beautiful. Let me grab it. Okay, this is my big, beautiful Cebu blue pothos. This is one I keep in the living room, and I just see it there all the time, and I get up every now and then and I just go like this to it. This plant hadn't grown for a really long time, and then suddenly over the winter it just like busted out all of these vines. I found this at Walmart. I don't remember if it was last year, or I feel like it was the year before last year. I really don't remember, but I've had it for at least a year, I know that much. I did buy 2 more of these, and then I cut a bunch of propagations off of that. They took forever to root, but I finally repotted them all into pots. Now I have a bunch of these around my house. This one is so pretty because it has this just really nice silvery color to the leaves, but it's like this elongated shape that makes it so unique. The plant does vine, but it grows kind of like this. So it looks like a big full plant, but when you separate like each vine, there's like a big gap between each leaf, and usually that means it's not getting the light that it needs, but I have seen like pretty much everyone's look like this. I think this is just the way that it grows, and then the vine is really thin, so it kind of just tends to look kind of cool. I don't know. I really love the way that this one looks. I kind of want to cut some of these long vines and hang them right here. I was thinking this morning I wanted some more hanging plants right here, and I think that I'm out of focus. Am I out of focus? No. I think that I might cut some of these, root them, and then put them right here so it could be another hanging plant. You know what? I might do that. I think I might do that. But I love this one. It's such a good plant, just as easy as any other pothos. If you feel like really confident taking care of pothoses, you're gonna have no problem with this one. I did find this at Walmart. It is a Costa Farms plant. One of the only Costa Farms plants I have that's still in the hanging basket, still alive. And all the ones I've purchased since, I did find some at Lowe's, are still doing really, really well. So really cheap for what it is. It didn't really grow a lot the first year, but it exploded in growth over the winter, and it's just doing great. So definitely a favorite. Okay, last one, cactus. I love my cactus, and this is definitely one of those plants like that I used to hate and now love. A plant I never thought in a million years I would love, but they're all so cute. I get up every single day and I look at the windowsill because I have all these on the windowsill in the living room. They just get the perfect light in there. It's a south-facing window, and they're all just thriving. But if there's one, my least favorite, it's gonna be this little guy. This is a Domino cactus, and it's actually getting a bloom. I know the blooms look hilarious because they're like gray and fuzzy, and then the whole stem on the bloom is gray and fuzzy too. I mean, it's gonna end up blooming. I'll show it to you, of course, when it does. But the reason this is my least favorite is because I have 2 of them. I don't remember why I bought 2 of them, but I love both of them. The other one has bloomed before, this one hasn't. This is the smaller one of the 2. And I genuinely don't even remember why I bought 2. I don't know, like, did I already forget I had one? Had I just seen it and loved it and was like, oh my god, I gotta get another one? I really don't know. But although I do like this plant, I mean, from there it doesn't look like much, but it's a little cutie. I just didn't need a second one, you know? Although I like it, this is another one like the maranta. I like the plant, this one specifically is my least favorite. And my favorite was so hard. It took me the longest to pick my favorite cactus because I was like, no, this one, no, this one, no, this one. Oh, no, let's just talk about all of them. But I thought I would show you one that I did show before in a video, and I thought I would just give it another time in the spotlight. It's the totem cactus. I brought this big boy home from Palm Springs on a trip. I still can't believe I bought a freaking plant so big, but it's so cool. I mean, I can't wait to take this outside for the summer. It's definitely just gonna live out there. I don't know if it's gonna grow any out there because it's so big and I feel like it might be a slow grower. This is one though that I have no clue when to water it. So if you have one of these or you have one this big, let me know. I haven't watered it at all. I mean, I don't even know how to tell. Like a lot of the time with cactus, you can tell when it needs water, whether it feels kind of thin or looks like it's a prune. But this one, I truly have no clue. But I love this. It's big and lumpy, and it truly has no spines at all. Like sometimes those cactuses that look like they have no spines, they have like hidden little spines in the design. But this one truly has no spines at all. At least nothing I can detect that's pokey. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to put it outside in the summer. But like I said, this one was really hard because I love all of them. They're all so cute. They're all so unique. But this one is one I wanted to give a little time in the spotlight. But yeah, that is it. Those are my favorite and least favorite plants in 5 different genuses, varieties, you know what I mean? I do have a lot more plants I could feature. I could definitely do a part 2 of this if you enjoyed it. But let me know what some of your favorite and least favorite plants are that you currently own. I would love to know what they are. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.